Hey, what's up, you guys? Wyattxhim Recover here, everyone's favorite YouTuber who stutters and mispronounces. And today we got a track review. This by the newest single by Ghost, Rats. This is for their upcoming album coming out in early June, Prequel. Now, Ghost is a band at this point that is really starting to get more and more and more attention with each release. And I remember really discovering them back in the early 2010s with their debut full length. And though it didn't click with me at first, because really I feel like when I first got into Ghost, I was expecting just this crazy type of blast beats that would be heavy, something that would just be something fast paced, because it was metal. They was put out through Metal Blade Records at the time, I believe they were signed to, and I was expecting so much, and to get something that was just so slow and kind of traditional for heavy metal, it was something that I didn't really enjoy all that much. But after really kind of realizing what Ghost actually is going for, kind of having similarities between Merciful Fate to an extent, and really having that traditional type of hard rock metal aspect to them, you really start to realize at this point Ghost is a really easygoing band compared to everything else that's considered metal nowadays. And that's the thing with Ghost that I've always admired so much about them. They can make me sing. They have this anthem effect to them. And though instrumentally they're not breaking new grounds, it's very suit and tie, traditional heavy metal and hard rock. It's really nothing breaking new grounds. The thing that's the selling point for me musically with Ghost has always been the vocalist. The vocalist has just such an intriguing and just infectious voice that I can't help but has just full of harmony to it that I just can't help but sing along to no matter how many times I listen to it, whether it's my first time or my, I don't know, 100th time listening to the same Ghost song. It's just something about Papa's voice that I'm always addicted to listening to. And throughout the years that they've been active, they put out a handful of full lengths, and to an extent, there is somewhat of a concept to each record that kind of carries a little bit of a story. So before we get into musically what this track sounds like, there's a lot of conceptual images and just lyrical content within this song and in the music video that I kind of want to go over that I feel like a lot of people are just completely ignoring in some of these other reviews that I'm seeing. Now, with their previous full-length Melior that came out in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. I always get the years mixed up. No, actually 2015, sorry. See, at that point, you realize now with the artwork and the lyrical content that it's kind of like they're at this climax of this grand city. You have all this spectacle stuff going off. And towards the end, when you get to the last track on there, which is Deus in Absentia, it all starts to crumble down. And you realize at that point that city, that grand climactic city that they once had, is going under, and it's almost like this apocalyptic aspect, or rapture is finally going to take over the people for all their sins. And even before that, when we get to their sophomore album that came out in 2013, which was Infestissima, you have Monstrous Clock, which kind of gives this aspect that everyone's gathering up, that there's going to be this grand ceremony, and people are all gathered for the birth of Lucifer's child. So every track, the outro track for every album, kind of gives like a cliffhanger and kind of like a preview as to what the concept of the next album is going to be. So even though we haven't heard even a second of it, I'm really interested to know when Prequel comes out, what Life Eternal, which is apparently going to be the last track on Prequel, what that will represent. Because with this track, Rats, this is kind of like Armageddon has come to that city. And when you look at the lyrical content, it really shows at this point this album is going to be the end. It's kind of like, God's wrath is coming down on us beings for all the sins we committed between all the concept and lyrical content of the previous albums. Just listen to this verse right here. Into your sanctum you let them in. Now all your loved ones and all your kin will suffer punishment beneath the wrath of God. It's one of the lyrical lines on one of the bridges on this song, and it really feels like lyrically this is kind of like the end. Like rats are coming in, they're just feasting upon what's ever left on this world of ours that we've pretty much destroyed within our own sins and doing that we have done. Also, as well, the music video, I mean, it kind of just like paints a bigger picture for you when you look at the music video and watch it, of just like you see these people, just fire everywhere, buildings all crumbling, there's blood prints right on windows and whatnot, and there's people all like in these suits trying to capture the rats and kind of understand what's going on. And just the reason I bring all this up is that, yes, even though they get criticized for it, Ghost is a huge conceptual band. They've always been, and that's what helps them, I feel like, with their record sales and gotten them so much attention. But I feel like now that the band has kind of like crumbled apart a little bit outside of its music, and with the original band members all leaving and kind of revealing who the actual vocalist is, I feel like at this point now, this is going to show who's the real fans of Ghost and who are the people that were just in it for the concept and the visual aspect of them. Me personally, I don't care if Ghost still does the conceptual thing with the costumes and how they act it out, or they just play as if like in regular attire like me. I don't care. What I've always loved about Ghost is that they can just make me sing. They have this strong anthem effect to it. Their hooks are just so infectious. And even after the second time listening to this track, I was already singing along to the chorus. Yes, to an extent, it's very almost repetitive, but it really just drills it in your head, the choruses. And if a band can make me sing along with them, I don't care how cheesy, how 80s, or how basic it is, as some people are complaining about it. It's a formula that works, and that's what Ghost is going for with them. Now, I see a lot of people complain about the fact that they're doing like this really kind of like traditional like hair metal, cheesy 80s metal type of thing that stuff like Poison or Motley Crue would do. And yes, to be honest with you, I kind of see that a little bit. When you listen to some of the guitar melodies within the choruses, and especially the drums on this that are just really hard rock inspired, something that I almost feel like that came right out of Motley Crue. Yes, it does have that aspect to it, and that does get a little bit cheesy, I will admit, but that cheese just turns into this infectious rhythm and chorus and melody that I can't help but just enjoy and get lost within, and that's what Ghost did for me instrumentally, alright? Yes, it's basic, but it just works, and it makes me want to sing along, and Ghost has always been the band I go to when I just want catchy hard rocks, or metal in this case, and they did it again. Also, as well, the other thing too that really gets more vibrant within each Ghost album is the keyboards just seem to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Whereas if you listen to the debut full length, the keyboards were kind of just like off in the mix a little bit, giving off like this ghoulish aspect to it. Whereas now, when you listen to later albums within Ghost, especially here with Rats, the keyboards are really just as vibrant as ever and really give off a stronger climax that I really feel like intertwines perfectly with the vocals on here, since they're just so harmonizing, to say the least. So conceptually, that's my thoughts on it, and musically, is it cheesy to an extent? Yeah, but come on, that's really nothing new at Ghost when you really look about it. They're always going for that traditional hard rock type of 80-ish type of sound that is just infectious and has like that anthem effect to it that I think just works. So overall, I think this is a great way to give people a little bit hype about the upcoming album. And I, for one, really am looking forward to this album. Is it going to be like maybe an album of the year contender? No, but is it going to be something where I feel like it's going to be another great, infectious, catchy as hell Ghost album? It's shaping up to be that right now with Rats. So I'm looking really forward to this album. So that's just my thoughts about this whole music video and what I come to expect with the next Ghost album. I'll have links provided to where you can check this out. You've probably all heard of it, but I'm really curious to know what you think of this Ghost album, what's come to expect conceptually and musically. So that's it for this video. Like always, guys, hopefully you guys discovered something new. Thanks for watching, liking, supporting, and subscribing. You guys are the best, and good listens.